Good morning and welcome to My Left Ear. I am Carrie Freeman. It's Thursday, June, I was going to say July, June 23rd. And we have another committee meeting today. It'll be number 4. No, it'll be 5. Let me just check so I don't misspeak. I'm talking about the 4th hearing that just took place. Today will be number 5, if I have it correctly. So My Left Ear is a left-leaning political commentary, psychic commentary and predictions. And I do a lot of things privately. I do private sessions for people, normally Zoom, if they're in my neighborhood. Now that we are doing a little bit better, I see people in person. I do therapeutic hypnosis, personal coaching, and psychic coaching. And for a little while, I'm going to be giving discounts due to the inflation that is happening to us. And you can just contact me, just email me and ask me, and I'll write you back immediately. And all my contact information is below, and I will also put it on the community page. I will put my Patreon contact on my community page, which is going great. I just did another one 2 days ago, got compliments on it. It's very entertaining. And my book, The Comics Daughter, which I still have some available, and my contact, how to write me, ask me any questions. So there you go. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I'm gearing up to watch the hearing in Los Angeles. It'll be at 12 noon. And can't wait. So my next YouTube will be on Friday, commenting on what happens this afternoon. Today, I do not have runes for you. It's the same show. I'm just not stopping with the runes. I'm just running through information, a couple of My Left Ear predictions, and then we'll get into more stuff on Friday. And I don't know what's next. There's going to be 2 more hearings in July because, on a very positive note, the committee is getting lots of new information. And now they've got a documentary filmmaker who somehow got access to the Trump White House videotape stuff with audio and has caught some very interesting things. So this is so much new stuff. They need a little time to organize. They are organized. They're fantastic. So but what I believe is coming, and I don't know it won't be today, but I don't know when, is they're going to bring up the names of Congress people that either were flat out insurrectionists, enabled, gave tours, whatever. Those names are coming, my friends. All right, so here's my bullet points today. If you missed any of this, 60%, this is as of like yesterday, when polled, 60% think Trump is criminally liable. We're thinking it's just going to keep going up. That number is going to keep going up. But 60% thinking that Trump is criminally liable is really good. Now, seditionist, dumb, outspoken guy, Mo Brooks, he lost the primary, and that's exciting. So that's one member of Trump's enablers, partners, that's out. But he says now, I'll come speak to the committee, but I'll only do it live because I don't want the committee editing me. So now Mo Brooks is going to come and talk. So he won't go to jail, of course. Ron Johnson, Senator Ron Johnson is in trouble. That's good. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And Dr. Oz is 9 points behind John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Just love to see Oz whooped. And My Left Ear says he's going to be whooped. He's not going to catch up. I think that's pretty obvious. We heard 2 days ago, wait a minute, Thursday, was it yesterday, that we heard Trump's voice. Now, we've heard it before, but they played that awful phone call to Raffensperger in Georgia, and it's such a black and white case. And my left ear, we're just really sure that this will be Donald Trump's first indictment. Georgia, voter fraud, voter, God, I don't know, because I'm not an attorney, but it's big, and it's going to be easy to prosecute. Voter intimidation, you've got to know these legal terms, and I don't know which legal term. And we don't know if he'll be indicted in federal court or civil court, to be determined, but keep an eye on Georgia. This is a slam dunk for Fani Willis, the AG, and it's good news. And it shows how stupid, really ignorant Trump is, that he did this on the phone. It's his own voice. And when he's on the phone with Raffensperger, it's very interesting. The more Trump gets passionate or defending himself, I don't know if you've noticed this, but he growls. He gets really in here with his voice, not his diaphragm, and it's like this growling sound. Notice it the next time they play this stuff. This is pretty horrible, but it's not surprising that Texas just voted to declare Joe Biden's presidency illegitimate. Beto O'Rourke cannot win Texas fast enough. Texas needs Beto O'Rourke. It just needs a cleansing, Texas. It's just unbelievable. And Ivanka Trump misled the committee, or she lied to the committee in the filtered video that we saw of her, where she looked dead and on Xanax, and said, well, I believe in Bill Barr, and blah, 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 blah. Well, the documentary guy who got access to the White House, and nobody knows how, caught her on tape, telling her father that he should fight till the very end. So I don't know whether you perjure when you're in front of the committee or you just have lied, but I think maybe they will call her back and go, oh, Miss Ivanka, did you lie to us? Because it looks like you lied to us. All right. She's not getting off. Let me just see. Delve deeply into the Georgia election fraud and Trump's attempts, the fake electors and his harassment. This is very serious. Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, my last name, they were the poll workers in Georgia that got intimidated, harassed, threatened, and scared within an inch of their lives. And they had to vacate. They spoke, and everybody was devastated by what they shared and what these women went through. These wonderful human beings, these citizens of the United States. And Shay Moss said, there's nowhere I feel safe. But I'm thrilled to tell you, they're suing Rudy Giuliani, and they might end up adding more people to it. And I'm awfully glad. Now, David Ignatius on the Morning Joe show, he's an associate editor and columnist at the Washington Post. He's an author. He's very intellectual. And I just wrote down a few things that he said. He said, Trump has no systematic ideology. It's just about winning. He's a sore loser, which I think is the understatement of the century, because it's pathology. I mean, it's mental illness and pathology. It's simplified. He's a sore loser is simplified, but that's what David Ignatius said. That he just can't get past it. He can't believe it. And I'll just stop for a minute and say, Fred Trump, his father, was just as evil as Donald and was extremely abusive to Donald. No, I don't feel bad for him. A lot of people were abused and didn't turn out like this. And he got drummed into him, you can't lose. You can never lose. If you lose, you're a loser. So this is very pathological in him, that he can't lose. It's his father's voice. So he's using this material at every rally. He's seething about Judge Luddick and Pence. And you know what? I come from, my father was, as some of you know, was a stand-up comedian his whole life, professionally. And he would say, it's very common in the world of comedy to say, that comic needs to get some new material. Well, this is true of Donald Trump. He needs to get new material. As long as he's allowed to speak, which he shouldn't be allowed to speak, but he's speaking. He just parrots and parrots and parrots. And then last week he said, I think in Tennessee, it was just a demonstration at the Capitol. It got out of hand. There wasn't a single gun. Nobody died except poor Ashley Babbitt. Well, if it wasn't for Trump, Ashley Babbitt wouldn't have died. All right. All right. Now we get to Texas Senator Cornyn. He was booed at the Republican convention in Texas by extremists because he took the Turtle, Mitch McConnell, I call him Turtle, because I cannot give him any respect, even using his name. Turtle told him to get involved with some gun reform, but of course it's safe gun reform, it's non-threatening gun reform. And Cornyn kind of has to do that, and he did it, and it turned on him at the convention. And, you know, the bill that they're passing is really a nothing burger, but it's something. It's so Senator Murphy, who's just wonderful on this subject, can say, we got started. So now they can't say, we've never passed anything. Okay, all right. That's a little cracker to the Republicans because nothing big. However, it's a beginning. But Cornyn also is being rejected and going through a rebellion in the GOP for this work, even though Turtle told him to do it. Kennedy, Cruz, Rubio, they're all on the payroll for the NRA, and there are more of them. There's no universal background checks in this new policy. I guess I want to say it's a beginning. I'm not happy about it. All right, I'm not happy about it. But I understand Senator Murphy's position, and I support him. He's fabulous. So that was Cornyn, okay? Now we're skipping to Senator Ron Johnson and his new scandal. The question is, what did he know and when did he know it? So you may have read, you may have heard. It's a little fuzzy, so forgive me. He was handed, allegedly, an envelope to give to Pence minutes before Pence was to show up and count the legitimate electorates for the presidency. So when asked about this, Ron Johnson said, I don't know, it was a nameless intern. So he can't identify the intern. And the envelope had a list of the false alternate electors' names, which would have been used if Pence had agreed to interfere with the election. When allegedly it was shown to Pence's high-end aides, they denied it. They didn't want the letter. They refused the letter. And then, of course, the rest is history. Now, there were reporters chasing Ron Johnson like down a street yesterday, and he was pretending to be on his phone. And one of the journalists said, "But sir, you're not talking to anybody." So that was kind of funny. He got blown. And he just kept saying, there's no story here. There's no story here. And he will refuse to testify. But here's the good news. They will subpoena his staff, and they will tell the truth. Ginny Thomas is in more trouble. I'm so happy. The text between her and John Eastman, who was Clarence Thomas's former clerk, they're very chummy. her numerous calls to the Arizona pollster. They're friends with the Arizona pollster. Clarence is the godfather. Ginny could see obstruction of an official proceedings, or she could receive conspiracy to defraud the U.S. We don't know yet how protected she will be by Clarence. Now, here's the funny thing. Clarence was reported to say that he was shocked by his wife's texts. Now, that's a famous line from the movie Casablanca. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Maybe he was shocked at the degree that she went. But what do you think they talk about at breakfast, lunch, and dinner? They talk about this stuff, she and her husband, her best friend. So we don't know whether Clarence Thomas is lying or he was actually surprised. My left ear says he knew. They are too close. They're a partnership. So, and she probably, although she said, oh, I'd love to go to the January 6th committee and clear up everything, we do not believe she will show. But she will be gotten to from a different angles. She's just getting deeper and deeper, all right? And then the last thing is the tragedy has nothing to do, well, really has nothing to do with the testimonies, but it's Uvalde, Texas. And we know more now. It's getting darker and worse and more outrageous, tragic, that it was a massive fail, and then the cover-up. So the news is that the officers in the hall, they actually had assault rifles. They had some shields, okay? And then this is the worst part of it. The classroom door was not locked. It's quite unbelievable. My heart is with the families. I just, like I'm almost tongue-tied, and I'm rarely tongue-tied. So somebody lied that they had no protective equipment. They were not overpowered. And the chief of police told them to wait. That guy named Pete Aladondo, I hate him. I didn't look up the spelling of his name for this particular episode of My Left Ear. He's on administrative leave, which is totally necessary. He has not been showing up for the city council job to which he was voted in private. And if he misses the third one, he's kicked off the council. He's dropped. Pete is hiding. Pete will be charged. It's awful. And he might even be sued. He might even be sued for not doing his job. Very bad. It's very massive. We're going to find out more, okay? So just in closing on the politics, as the result of the January 6th committee testimonies, we really know now that Trump's allies are very wide sweeping and far reaching. Like I said, I'm not an attorney. I read a lot. It feels like a RICO case to me. It feels like a mob racketeering operation. The experts will let us know. But it's including party leaders, members of Congress, state leaders, governors, and any DOJ holdovers from the Trump administration, which they should have been fired, right? All right, so more to come tomorrow with runes. I will be glued to the TV in a few hours. Now, I do have a little good evidence story. It's very, it's a little bit sad, not a little bit, but it's poignant and it's a little magical. I live on a street that if I drive 1.5 blocks, now I'm on a street that has beautiful homes, not estates, just beautiful family homes with beautiful yards. And I would every day I would drive past this lovely corner home with a beautiful yard and a giant tree with a blonde Labrador retriever sitting out front. And by now I think you know I love dogs and cats a lot. I really love dogs. And since I don't have a dog, I stop. I break for dogs. I stop. I take pictures. I just passionate. So all these years, I thought, God, I'd love to stop and meet that dog, but I felt too shy. A woman would be out there gardening. Well, a week ago, and it was a few days after this stranger and I helped the man who had the evident stroke in the Ralph's parking lot. This was like 2 days later. They're having a yard sale. And I went, oh my God, when I get back from my errands, I'm gonna go to the yard sale and I'm gonna meet the dog, because the dog was lying there on the grass. So I come back, I park, and I walk into the yard sale. It wasn't crowded, it was shaded, and the man and the woman, middle-aged couple, were there, and I was gonna work my way over to the dog, but I overheard the woman say to someone petting the dog, we have to put him down. He has cancer of the mouth, and we were going to do it today, but the hospice veterinarian canceled on us, and he's doing pretty good today. Blew my mind. So I walked over, and I could see that this beautiful, huge lab had the mouth cancer. I mean, you could, there was just, it was a mess, but one side of it wasn't. And I said, can he eat wet food? And she said, yes, he can eat wet food. And this poor woman, I don't know, it's as if she knew about me or my left ear. She just looked at me with such vulnerability and said, is he ready? Do we do it? And I said, oh my God. I said, look, he's not ready today. He probably will be ready this week, but you will know. You will know. And I said to her, listen, I had to put down my precious cat 7 months ago, and I found a place that makes home visits, and I got a female vet who was remarkable. She was like an angel who helped me through it. I even emailed her this week to give her an update on my rescue, Petey. She wrote me back immediately. I said, this place, and my neighbor had found it. She said, well, I called them, and they're on standby. And I said, they're fantastic. They are fantastic. Dr. Marlene was my vet who came, but anybody they would send you. So I got to meet, his name was Finn, Finn, and I got to meet him on the last day of his life, and it was just kind of beautiful and sad, and I got to help the couple a little bit, and it was just very touching, and I've been wanting to share this with you guys. I think you get it. I was their good evidence. That's how it kind of came out, because I showed up and I was helpful to them and sympathetic. Nice people. All right, now we get the quotes, and then I'm out of here. So this quote is from Desiderata, and it's very spiritual. It says, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should be. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Desiderata. And I know it's hard to be cheerful. And I know it's hard to strive to be happy. But I want to go look at it through good evidence and what you can bring to the table every day for other people. That's how I look at it, okay? The next quote by Plato, philosopher, ancient philosopher Plato, said, we are twice armed if we fight with faith. And that led me to one of my favorite all-time quotes. I believe probably I used it here over a year ago, but I'm going to repeat it because of what Plato said, fight with faith. Well, there was an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, very famous, and an author named Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. And he said, if I were dying, my last words would be, have faith and pursue the unknown end. And I want to add that that's what I think the January 6th committee is doing. They are having faith and they are pursuing the unknown end. And they're doing a fantastic job, by the way, if I didn't say so. And everybody feels that way, except Republicans. All right. Have faith, people. Go look for some evidence. Go give some evidence. Just give a compliment today. You'll make somebody's day, okay? Sending peace and love, hugs. And now, my quote, make peace, make memories, make good memories. And I don't know if you can see, Petey's really, well, I'll move out of the way. Maybe you can see his feet. It's really hard because he blends into the chair, but he's taking a nice nap behind me. Petey says hello. All right, talk to you soon. See you Friday, promise. Bye-bye.